Today at Manchester Theatres, it is my absolute pleasure to be joined by the lovely Rosa Hesmonhalgh and James Sheldon, who are going to be performing in Pride and Prejudice at the Octagon Theatre in Bolton from the 5th of June right through towards the end of the month. Now, Rosa is no stranger to a period drama, having performed in Bridgerton, but she has also been in shows such as The King's Speech, The Snow Queen, and her very own award-winning show, Madame Bovary. Whilst James has been in shows such as Sherwood, Shakespeare and Hathaway, Gangs of New York, and The Girl on the Train. But today we are going all about Austen. It's all about Pride and Prejudice. So thank you both for joining me so close to the show starting. You must be up to your eyes and ears in rehearsals and texts and things like that.
Yeah, it's definitely crunch time, isn't it? It
Yeah,
feels like
it's happening soon.
yeah. You sort of get in a very you get so in the bubble of rehearsals that you're just like, yeah, this is great. And then it gets to week 4 and you're like, oh no, that people are going to come and see it really soon.
Yeah.
So we're very much in that place at the moment, but also really ready to get it into the actual space and out of the rehearsal room and into the costumes.
Yeah.
Oh, gosh, yeah. I mean, no pressure here, but you are taking on two of the biggest characters in literature, like ever.
No,
right?
you're right. No pressure at all. No, yeah, fine. Yeah. Yeah, it's a little bit daunting, yeah, but it's they're so famous because they're so good.
Yeah.
They're so beautifully written, and Kate's adaptation is no stranger to that. It's fantastic, and they're both this lovely dynamic between the two of them is amazing, and that's why they're so well loved.
Yeah.
And I know it's been said 1,000 times before, but Elizabeth Bennet really was written so far ahead of her time, wasn't she? She was so like modern. She still stands up today.
Yeah, absolutely. I feel like she's very really ahead of her time, and also I think a lot of women can see a lot of themselves in her. Like, I think she's a really exciting character to play, and she's really funny as well as really headstrong and passionate. And it's really amazing to get that arc from her being totally against love to being fully in love. So yeah.
And even though everyone always says like Elizabeth Bennet was so ahead of her time, which of course she was, I actually think her father's not given enough credit as well, because I think he's massively ahead of his time by supporting her the way that he does. Not many dads in that period would have done that. He'd have been, nope, you marry for status and that's it.
Yeah, I really agree. It's really lovely. And Dovrig, who plays our Mr. Bennet, is doing such a fantastic job of creating such such a funny but layered character.
Yeah, I don't know if it's in our production. Mr. Bennet seems to get a bit more credit towards the end of the play. It sort of shows up. The point that you made is made very clear that he is way ahead of his time, and so caring to his girls and allows them to do whatever they need to do to be whoever they need to be.
Well, that's nice. That's nice to hear. And of course, you, James, you are playing Mr. Darcy. Now, when Elizabeth and Mr. Darcy first meet, her opinion of him isn't the best, let's say.
No, not the best, no.
How do you think he thinks it goes? Like, how do you think he comes across?
Oh, he's no good at talking in general, and he finds this person, Elizabeth, who is everything that he can't compute, which is why he's so intrigued and inspired by her when she says things to him that no one's ever said to him before. So her wit and her brilliance is something that is like a little light bulb in the dark for him, and he can't not try and move towards it, even though everything in society is telling him that he shouldn't.
Yeah. And there's many different things that happen along their journey that we kind of see as to, like you've mentioned there, as to why they become entwined with each other, I suppose. But for me, I'm a book lover. For me, it's the library. It's got to be the library. Right?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that when she goes to his house and sees that we've got a really lovely bit in that about like why she kind of in the book, there's a really funny bit about she sees like the size of his house and she's like, well, and Kate's kind of done this really lovely thing that I won't spoil, that's kind of a little bit different.
Yep.
That is a really lovely reason that she goes to his house and is like, oh, Mr. Darcy's great. So but a big library is always a great asset.
It is, it absolutely. And one of the big things for their relationship is the letter writing. You know, they write letters to each other. That was what was done then. It's not so much a thing now. It's all about DMs and gifs and emojis and things like that. And like even when I was at uni, all of that modern stuff just then wasn't, and I don't class myself as too old, but it wasn't there. Like, to stay in touch with your friends, we still wrote letters to each other. And can we advocate for letter writing coming back? Because it's so amazing, isn't it, to kind of
the whole like anticipation of waiting for a letter as opposed to getting one immediately. It's just like that. This is the whole thing in the book, and we sort of nod to it in our production, but the time between their interactions is, you know, massive. It's not minutes or seconds on a DM, it's months or weeks, and it's just that burning thing inside you that goes through, like, what are they thinking, what are they writing?
It makes you fancy someone so much more, doesn't it? It really is that thing of like, what are they doing right now, and like, are they thinking about me? And and we live in the age of instant gratification, don't we? So it's really nice to go back in time in this play and experience a bit of that.
Yeah, it is. It's so lovely. And Austen does all of these things so well. And another one is breaking down this idea that if you have status or money or wealth, that means that you are more educated, you're more intelligent, you've got more integrity. She massively breaks that down. And I think, I mean, it just fits so well right now with what we're seeing with certain world leaders and things like that. It's so relatable, that idea, isn't it, still?
Yeah, that's right. It's really important, I think, that these stories, you know, there's so much similarity between what was going on then and what's going on now with the disparity between classes. And yeah, you're absolutely right.
And with Pride and Prejudice, there's been a gazillion different versions of it out there over the years because it is so well loved. When you're approaching it as actors, how do you kind of filter out all of the noise of everybody else's version and kind of hone in on your own and say, this is how I see it? Because there's a lot there, but it must be tricky to kind of ignore it and go, no, this is what I'm doing.
I think you just focus on Kate's writing and just go from that as if it was a new play. Obviously most people know Pride and Prejudice or have seen a version of Pride and Prejudice, or at least know the names of the people in it. Even if you've never read the book, you'll know the name. But if you just, for me anyway, if you just approach it as a new script there with, you know, and go through all the same stuff that you would do with a brand new piece of writing, without the history of characters, then it sort of pings out on its own. But Kate's is so well written that you kind of go, right, right.
Yeah, and she does, you know, she winks every now and again at like maybe a previous version or obviously the book, but you know, it's really the best parts of the book, I think, are done in nearly all of the adaptations. So I think that's a really nice thing about it too.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing, isn't it? When you've got a text like that that's so well known, for some, I mean, I've obviously not seen it yet, but for someone to come along and then do an adaptation of it as well, it's really interesting, I suppose, for the audience, but like you've just mentioned, for you as actors to kind of come along and then be able to put your stamp on it and really identify with it in your own way as to what your life experiences are as well, I suppose, and put that in there.
And also steal from people that have done it really well before. Just take
why not?
Absolutely.
I love it. So if you were friends with your characters then, if you were friends with Elizabeth and you were friends with Mr. Darcy, what piece of advice do you think you would give them?
That's such a good question.
Yeah, great question.
I would so be friends with Lizzy Bennet. Like, I would want her, you know, at the end of the phone always for sort of like boy advice, because she's really like not about it being all about love. It has to be about so many more things. And she's like a real family person. She's a great friend. She loves to read. She loves to like walk. She loves conversation and thinking. And I just love that about her. But I would maybe say, don't judge people quite so quickly. Maybe.
I'd argue the same for Mr. Darcy. Don't judge people quite so quickly. If I was friends with him, I think he'd be the guy that I call every like month and go, I've heard what's happened. My mates, our other mates, Bingley's told me that what's going, what you done? What have you done now? And have to sort of try and talk him out of his reasoning for being so rude sometimes. Yeah, that's that. Don't judge people so quickly, or allow people to speak before you judge them.
Yeah, well, that's the thing, though, isn't it? With the whole prejudice thing, it is the big things, but it's not necessarily just the big things that Austen looks at. It is how you can kind of judge someone based on a preconception of class or status, or maybe just one thing that they've said. But when you don't know that person, you're taking it out of context, aren't you? I suppose.
Yeah. It's like that thing, the stories we tell ourselves, like, you know, we decide that that's something and then we like build a whole world around it. And it goes back to what you were saying about not spending loads of time together, or not being able to like send a text to be like, yeah, what did you mean when you said that?
Yeah.
It's like, you know, this especially for Elizabeth, she like builds this idea about Darcy over the few times that she meets him, and
actually
she's, spoiler, been wrong. But yeah.
Sorry, go on.
No, you go on. Sorry.
No, I was just going to say, and that kind of is the world that really helps create this story, isn't it? It is the gaps, it is the longevity between it. That because if it was set today, and say like they met on Love Island or something like that, it'd be a completely different story.
So the problem solved. Someone would send a text and be like, "What do you mean by that?" And then you'd be like, "Oh no, I didn't mean that." And that'll be the end of that. But it's and it's also the stories. It's the stories that get it's the rumors that get spread in between, or like the embellishment of the story that gets someone said, someone said.
Yeah, that's right.
And there's no proving that wrong, or asking that person whether or not that's what's been said, or what's been done, or and so they sort of snowball into these massive things when someone's actually just, you know, turned away too quickly or whatever. it can really get out of hand.
I love that this story is like it's been going for so many years and people are still so intrigued, still so like talking about it, and can have so many different conversations about it. It is such a fantastic story. And I cannot wait for you both to bring it to the Octagon. So thank you both so much today for chatting with us. No, thank you. As we've said, you can catch it at the Octagon Theatre in Bolton from the 5th of June. It's on right throughout towards the end of the month. Rosa and James as Elizabeth Bennet and Mr. Darcy. Thank you very much, and we will see you really soon.
Thank you.